What's happening? What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Geek Swag podcast. Right now, we have a very esteemed panel to discuss the latest in Geek Swag hip hop, geek-centric hip hop. First, I'm going to start off with the Monsignor himself, Mr. Travis Moody. Go on, give us a little hello there, Travis.
Hello, it's the Monsignor, Travis Moody. What up? What you sipping on, food?
And right next to him, we got Esco.
I only listen to banjos.
All right. And even next to me on the wheels of steel, we got Mr.
DJ, Mike.
I'm just going to call you Mike. Mike.
I play those banjos that Esco listens to all the time.
Mixmaster Mike.
That's what's up. But yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and start this great little podcast. We got some news to spread for you guys, and we also got some reviews. So I think you're really gonna enjoy it.
He's spitting already. I thought that we were saving the freestyles for last.
Yeah.
But anyways, what's up, fellas? GHG Geek Swag Radio. It's been a long time coming, and we finally got it down. So I got one important question for the panel. What you guys listening to? What's in your rotation right now? What you bumping in your shower? All
right.
Hey, we're going to have some technical difficulties.
Yeah,
this is our first show after Raw, ladies and gentlemen.
I can hear myself at all.
And we are drinking too, so, it's going to be fun.
Can you hear yourself now?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can now. All right. So in my current rotation, we were discussing this earlier. I don't really listen to much like current stuff anyway, but like I was a big fan of To Pimp a Butterfly last year, and I wanted to learn more about it because I love just the production of that. I loved it.
I love the jazzy shit.
Yes, I did. And I found out that the dude behind that was Thundercat. He's a guy here. I think his name is Steven Bruner. I think he's based in L.A. And he does a lot of like very bass heavy type hip hop tracks. And I've been listening to a lot of his stuff. Like he's had a couple albums out, just him. You know,
are they dope?
Oh, they're pretty dope. I love them. And they also, some of them have they have a very geek swag feel to them. A lot of them, a couple of them actually sound like fucking like. There's one particular track called Daylight, I think, off the album. I forgot something Apocalypse, but it's a track called Daylight, and it sounds just like a fucking like the beginning of like Mario or something like that. It's really good. It's really good. But all of his stuff so far I'm loving, and great stuff. So that's what's with my current rotation. Other than that, I listen to a lot of like acid jazz and weird shit like that. But a lot of those type beats are hip hop infused. So I love listening to that. Plus, I just admire.
And people say I'm reaching on my shit.
Yeah,
Look at you. But you know what? That's what it's all about. The Geek Swag Radio is not just hip hop. It's not just hardcore underground elitist geek hip hop. We're gonna talk all music. We've reviewed RJD2 as an instrumentalist. We actually reviewed David Bowie. So we cover all bases here at Geek Swag Radio.
Take your protein pills and put your helmet on.
I was just going to say, if you like Thundercat, you're going to like the LA scene out here is kind of for you. Low in Theory is like probably the best show out here, and that's at the Airliner. You been, Esco? You're nodding your head.
I haven't been, but I know the style that they play. I know a lot of the producers that perform there quite often, if not residents, on a regular basis. Like I know a few residents, and I know a few people that go regularly, and it's definitely the vibe that you're into where, like you said, the acid jazz influences, more melody, more experimental rhythms, and lots of energy.
Good.
People would know Flying Lotus that coming out of there.
Yeah, he's also worked with Thundercat too.
Yep. Yeah. On Cosmic Grandma, that's one of my favorite albums. Right. And that song is one of my favorite tracks by Flying Lotus. And Flying Lotus is part of my rotation like all the time. But lately, because of unfortunate events, I just been bumping a lot of Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
And we'll get into why later.
All the time.
Yes.
But that led me down a road where I was like, all right, boom bap hip hop is like what I'm feeling right now. So I went through like the whole discography when I heard about the news about Phife. That led me to like J5. Then that led me like a bunch of just like New York, like East Coast, like
Jurassic
I was
5.
gonna say, speaking of Flying Lotus, I was really into that Captain Murphy short that he did, like his alter ego Captain Murphy or whatever. But it pretty much looks like almost like a ripped Rick Ross. Yeah, he has the beard and has gold teeth and stuff. But it's like these kids having different interpretations of what Captain Murphy looks like. It's the same thing, but he's like a barbarian in one. He's like the bringer of destruction in another. It's a really dope short film. You should check it out.
Silly fools. Look at this man. He didn't come from the space or the barbarian. I can see with one look in his sunglasses. This is a man who has walked a path of karate, just as I have. He's a peaceful man. In his hand, he wields this powerful thurible, which emanates smoke that shall bring a man to his knees with bliss and lust and horniness.
Belser.
Talk about geek swag. I mean,
Right, I was
like,
just gonna
there's no
say,
more geek than that.
I was like, Belser, I think you're too geeky for the show.
That's too damn bad. I'm here now. My voice is on the radio. I'm think people are going to be digging my voice, so it's whatever.
Uh-oh, he's getting numbers.
Speaking of
IG hits.
Speaking of Flying Lotus and speaking of short films, Shia LaBeouf has a short film coming out, and the trailer looks pretty incredible.
Wait,
It's all original. It's his.
Yeah,
He didn't steal the idea from Daniel Close.
I think he got it out of the trash of. I think he got it out
Behind
of
Meltdown
Spielberg's
Comics.
trash. But no, it's looking really cool. It's more of like a documentary kind of vibe. And the plot of the documentary or whatever is on like a true love kind of tip, which to me sounds a little boring. However, I'm a big fan of cinematography, and I'm a big fan of music perfectly paired with cinematography, and Flying Lotus is producing all the music for it.
Oh, dope. That's
and
cool.
like the cinematography of it itself, like the shots that are in the trailer are very very artistically designed. I don't know if the love story aspect of it will, hold my attention for very long if the cinematography doesn't live up to the trailer, but the way it looks right now looks like it's going to be some really dope shit, especially since I've always felt that Flying Lotus was more suited for film than music, only because, like you were saying, you're into the jazz, you're into the melodic beats and production, where for me, I'm kind of in between your melody and your boom bap. Like, I like the aggression, but I also like a little melody with some, like, the aggression of boom bap. So I'm kind of right in the middle there. And I when I listen to Fly Low, I really hear that, a lot of times I hear the melody and I hear like subtle aggression sometimes, but he's got that experimental vibe to where it's like, this is almost what I'm used to hearing, but it's different. And for me, when I hear that, I see movie scenes.
Good.
Instead of wanting to like, oh, I'm just going to listen to some music. Like, I expect to see something when I hear that music. And that's a great thing. But like I said, if I'm not expecting, but if I'm longing to see visuals and there's no video for it, then I always feel like I'm missing something when I hear the music. So to see him scoring a film that is also artistically presented and not just, hey, here's a movie with Flying Lotus beats on it, like, I'm really looking forward to checking that out.
I mean, this is a dude that kind of blew up because of the interstitials of Adult Swim and like the Flying Lotus track underneath.
That's the same way the MF got off.
Yep.
Those interstitials on Adult Swim.
That stuff works when you've got the visuals going with it, and it's like, oh man, it just puts all your senses in that realm. And for me, like, when I hear it separate, then I just feel like something's missing. Like, I need more out of that. And like, when you have the aggression, a lot of times the aggression is what's driving it. You're not really looking for a specific emotion or a specific interaction between like two people. Like, you hear a Fly Low song, you might be like, oh, this sounds like, boy meets girl, girl pisses off boy, pisses off. Like, you can hear emotions, you can hear scenes in his music. So with like, the aggressive stuff is just like, oh, this is dope. Somebody's about to rip this verse. Like, shit's gonna be dope. Like, that's the kind of shit that I gravitate towards. But when it comes to film, I don't think anyone. I think Fly Low may be the new RZA of hip hop to film, kind of conversion or inclusion.
Kind of like what's his name that does the Social Network stuff? Atticus Ross and dude Trent Reznor.
Yeah.
Or like
that's that guy from 9 Inch Nails. Never heard of him.
or what's the dude from Radiohead? That guy. Speaking of wanting something more aggressive, Esco, what's in your rotation right now?
Honestly,
Myself.
something, yeah,
I just
something,
myself, bro.
something that is completely non-aggressive. The Open Mike Eagle album, which we will be talking about later, has been in rotation for me for a little bit. Just trying to grasp all the different angles of that album. Like, he says some dope shit, and if you get too caught up in the punchlines, which are joke punchlines and not Lil Wayne style punchline kind of thing. So if you get too caught up in the joke and the humor of it all, like, you miss the serious shit that he's saying. So I've just been listening to that over and over again and just grasping that from different angles. I dig it. That and, of course, Kanye every once in a while. It's weird, man. Like, I still get super excited when Chance the Rapper spits his verse on Ultralight Beam.
Now they wanna hit me with the woo out the bam. Trying to send photos of family. My daughter look just like Sia, you can't see her. You can feel the lyrics, the spirit coming in braille. Tumbling of the underground, come and follow the trail. I made Sunday candy, I'm never going to hell. I met Kanye West, I'm never going to fail. He said let's do a good ass job with Chance 3. I hear you gotta sell it to snatch the Grammy. Let's make it so free and the bar so hard that the day one gosh darn part. You can't.
It's like the best song on the album, and Kanye's not even on it.
Yes.
Esco, wait, hold on. I made a rule. You didn't know about it because I wasn't able to tell anyone yet.
I made a rule.
Made a rule right now.
No one knows about it.
You have a 5 name drop limit on Kanye, and you've used it twice, so you got 3 more.
No, I don't think I've said it twice.
Once. All right,
Just
fine.
once.
You got 4
and
more.
this is actually a Chance the Rapper rant. Thank you very much, Mr. Moody. This is name dropping on Chance the Rapper.
I thought he was going to do that. All right, I thought you were going to Kanye. 'Cause that sounds like how like their rap goes. Kanye.
Like
the James Harden of hip hop.
Chance
No
definitely came
no
through
defense.
on that.
Come on, man.
And funny story, I pulled up to a stoplight where a chick was listening to Life of Pablo, and I just got so excited because a lot of people don't, listen to it. So I screamed at her. And I said, throw this at the end if I'm too late for the intro. And she just looked at me and was like, I really wish this light was green so I could pull the fuck off right now. But
she should be used to that. It's LA.
Yeah, that's what I do, man. I like to show appreciation when I see people doing cool things.
This podcast is a lot nerdier than I thought. What have I get myself into over here? All right, what am I listening to? The typical shit. You know me. Jedi Mind Tricks, Binary Star, Deltron 3030. Keeping it geek swaggy, and that's what leads into the mission statement, which I don't need to say because I think after hearing all these guys talk about what we're talking about, you guys know where we're coming at.
Well, the listeners kind of just jumped in and don't even know what the fuck they're listening to right now. We didn't even introduce the show. So
yeah, basically, Geek Swag Radio is a dream come true for me as a comic book nerd, a superhero, and these guys are all into that. Of course, writing reviews and doing podcasts with GHG for several years now, and we're combining that because the roots of hip hop. A lot of it is geeky, man. I mean, even Eminem's first album, I was talking to Esco on the way here, and like Eminem, you know him as like the white trash, anti-pop culture guy.
Yeah.
But man, listen to the Slim Shady LP, and there's so many references to like Incredible Hulk.
Close rib like the Incredible Hulk. I spit when I talk. I anything that walks.
And like all his music is very horrorcore, sci-fi, like just bringing in different elements of like he's just using his imagination in Pulp Fiction.
I was gonna say, doesn't the Eminem show have a track called Superman?
Even later on in his latest LP, the Marshall Mathers 2, he must have said Thor like 9 times, like Odin and Thor, and like
kneel before General Zod, this planet's Krypton. No Asgard, so you be Thor and I'll be Odin. You rodent, I'm omnipotent.
This is a guy who started, I don't want to make this the Eminem podcast, but he started off.
I just made a rule.
Eminem.
I don't know if I got a chance to tell you.
I knew he was gonna get me back.
You've only got 5 times to say
Eminem.
All right, fine.
Eminem.
This is the last one. Stay tuned next month. Me versus Esco. Face Off Geek Swag Radio. Kanye versus Eminem. You heard it first.
Oh wow.
That sounds so unfair.
Yeah, it does.
yeah, that's kind of one-sided.
Basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're just trying to spread the word because, of course, there's some obvious choices. And I think most people have been with it, with the Geek Swag column that I've done every week. And they kind of, at first, they're like, oh, this ain't geeky. It took me a while to kind of figure out, okay, how am I going to go about this? Because it's very limited. You got the Wu-Tang, of course, because it's like Johnny Blaze and like Iron Man, Tony Starks, and like all those references, and of course MF Doom. But it's very limited as far as hip-hop artists actually creating geek rap. There's not a whole lot of that. So I was like, okay, why don't we include, and it's okay for me to make mistakes because this is a new concept, right? Geek swag.
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't we talk about artists who are actually geeks in life who maybe make just hip-hop music? So like, hope they don't take offense to the word geek, but like someone like J Live or someone like Dilla, they might not rap about Spider-Man, but they're not like, you know what I mean? They're good dudes. They're like well-read, you know, like they, you know, you could tell they're in the geek culture, but like they rap about hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think hip-hop fans that are geeks would appreciate that. Also, it goes the other way around. There are hip-hop artists who might be like thugs in the street, like Jedi Mind Tricks. You don't want to fight them dudes, but then they're rapping about like fucking Avengers versus like, you know, like religious hypocrisy and all the like. So it could go either way. Your personality might even reflect what geek swag is.
One of the more aggressive hip-hop geeks that I've noticed, and you mentioned just now, Ghostface. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because he's like all about Iron Man. Like, he's, how many LPs, you know, he's done Tony Starr.
But you wouldn't call that guy a geek to his face, right?
No, exactly.
Right? Exactly. I mean, maybe unless your name was Martin's, whatever.
Well, RZA always said that he'd rather have like more nerds than gangsters on the street, you know, because they're going to make the world a better place.
True.
And you just fucking count Wu-Tang all just as the geekiest people in the world.
I smoke on the mic like smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser, raising hell with the flavor, terrorize the jam like troops in Pakistan, swinging through your town like your neighborhood Spider-Man. So
did you see that Polygon? There's a Polygon data grab that they did of like the unique words that rapper used. So they just count every unique words that rappers have used throughout their whole discography. And Wu-Tang is just like all the way at the top. Like they used like almost as many unique words in the English language as fucking William Shakespeare. So
nice. I think when it comes to slang, Wu-Tang holds down the East Coast the same way E40 holds down the West. Like I think a lot of the West Coast slang, like E40 is well known for that. I'm not a West Coast historian, but since I've been here, anytime slang is mentioned, like people are talking about E40. Like, oh, it's from an E40 song. He came up with that.
The Izzle shit. The Izzle shit. He started that, and that's Snoop.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was
around Izzle, is all this shit.
I don't bump mainstream, I knock underground. All that other shit, sugar coated and watered down. I'm from the Bay where we hyphy and go dump. From the soil where them rappers be getting they lingo from.
I heard a song from like the early '80s, I believe, that had like some for shizzle my nizzle type shit in it.
You talking about E40?
No, it was. I don't remember who
the double Dutch bus probably like is like.
Yeah. Same spot Missy got her shit from.
Kizzle. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
But and then Rapper's Delight had the whole verse about Superman and Lois Lane and like dude trying to want to like bone Lois Lane, but like not sure about Superman or whatever. So it all goes back.
Yeah. Big Bang, hey, Superman.
Yeah, Wu-Tang was definitely holding it down as far as kind of teaching people how to talk cool.
Yeah, and it's great. And what I love about Geek Swag is I always combine like, okay, the swag part of it is like your confidence. The geek part is like you can, and people like, when I posted some of this Geek Swag stuff on like undergroundhiphop.com, like their forums, they're like, the fuck is this nerd shit? Like these guys, like Razkaz, he ain't no fucking nerd. And this, I was like, dude, you need to not listen to lyrics. And I know Razkaz personally. That dude plays video games nonstop. He watches wrestling. Like, that's some geek shit. Like, of course, like, and then if you have some artists, like, of course, like Jedi Mind Tricks, they might be at home chilling watching like a Spider-Man cartoon, but like if someone talks shit, they're gonna slap them. Like you could, that's that swag. Like you can have the confidence, the toughness behind you, but you can also be a geek. You can't, just because you're a geek doesn't mean you're getting stuffed in a locker. Like, you know what I mean? Like Wu-Tang have been geeks forever, but like you don't want to be fucking with them either. You know what I mean? Like it goes both ways, and that's that geek swag. It's like we're not talking about specific nerd core, because there is a nerd core.
Yeah, who's that one dude that like the college rapper guy? Fucking I can't.
Asher Roth,
right there.
I'm next on the table. Who want what? I am champion at beer pong. Allen Iverson, Akeem Olajuwon. Don't even bounce. Not in my house.
That's
like he's more on some rock shit right now. He's
I've heard the name. I never actually listened to any of his things.
But he started off like just doing references and stuff. So same with Childish Gambino. That dude, because he's a comedy writer, so like he just did punchlines, but like really geeky punchlines because he's like suburban.
Some geek swag shit is hardcore hip hop.
Running the game, fuck am I saying? Running the earth, give me a month. Told all you niggas I'm in it to win it, cause having an Emmy just wasn't enough. You get sloppy drunk, I stay whiskey neat. My clique should be canceled, freaks and geeks.
One more element about geek swag is what kind of music do the geeks appreciate? So like the music might not even be geeky, but it's something that geeks can finally like relate to. And I found that a lot of like stuff I was throwing in geek swag is like Little Brother, for instance.
Yes.
They might have the occasional like a wrestling reference from rapper Big Pooh or something like, but it's not what they talk about. They talk mostly about like, you know, neighborhood shit and chicks and like just having fun and like going to, you know, back then it was like going to school and all that stuff. Like, but the geeks love that shit. So like, is that geek swag? I think it is, because geeks can appreciate it. So it's also the kind of music that geeks can appreciate, even if it's not exactly geeky.
Yeah, but Loving It by Little Brother is actually one of my favorite tracks like ever. I love that song so much. And I got the original sample and all the good stuff from the Stylistics. They really picked some really good music. Plus, just lyrically, it's a great, great track. So I would suggest that if you're a big fan of Little Brother.
When Tay pull his verses out, promoters pull their purses out, that money for a purchase out, that charge card that they swipe for the worst amounts, cause this is business, not personnel.
My first hip-hop show was Little Brother.
Nice. Yeah. And actually, speaking on that, like a lot of the hip hop shows that I frequented, especially when I lived down in San Diego, were at 4th and B downtown, and they were mostly like underground hip hop. So like it was guys like, I think A$AP Rocky did a couple times. A couple guys from like I'll go so far as say Tribe and other groups, more underground type deals, whatever. And I love those shows because it's like they were just geek swag to the core. They had all kinds of crazy shirts, and they make all kinds of crazy references on stage. So it was definitely an enjoyable one. I don't know if they still do them, but like that would be a great spot for like a geek swag like concert. Would be 4th and B in San Diego.
Sweet.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Low End Theory again, man. Gas Lamp Killer is a dude that spins at Low End Theory like all the time.
Yep.
And he's obviously Gas Lamp Killer.
Mm-hmm. But for a minute, I've been trying to get two of my friends in the industry and very well-known underground hip-hop artists is Esoteric from Czarface. I mean, Czarface right there. That's like the epitome of geek swag. Like,
airheads out like the candy's gone. It's our face. Back to attack your heart again. Destroy your ass like tracks from the Guardians.
I mean, Inspect the Deck from wu-tang and Esoteric. And like they have, you can't even buy their shirts. They're like fucking out of print because it's like, it's a deranged. How would you explain it? It's like Martian Manhunter almost with like the the power, you know, it was like a power Superman cape, and like it looks dope. They rap about that shit. It's like a carry on from Wu-Tang, but like with kind of like 7L and Esoteric's like sensibilities and stuff. So it's pretty dope. And I've been trying to get Esoteric and Razkaz to spit a song like about Comic-Con. So like that's in the works, and that would be dope because that has not been done. If you steal it, I'll fuck you up. So don't do it. But Geek Swag Radio. But
I mean, it only fits that we're doing this podcast because at WonderCon there was a panel called Hip Hop and Comics.
Yeah,
and they talked about how
shout out to Patrick Reed and the Lang Brothers. What up?
Yeah, we talked about you on the Preacher's Pit, but just to go into it, I mean, it's like one of the 4 pillars of hip hop is art, is graffiti. You know,
yes.
And all that stuff comes from, like, obviously comics is the other big medium where, like, people ingest things that are drawn by hand. And it's, like, all the characters that you hear, like, in rhymes and in art, like, that's all influenced by heroes that you see in books and, like, serials and issues that from week to week.
I don't know shit about a tribe called Quest. Don't ask me questions because I don't know shit.
What a way to open this segment. Let's go. What's your favorite A Tribe Called Quest song?
The one where the music is playing and there's saxophones and it's really melodic. And then they talk about apple bums.
I got
Bonita Applebum.
That's not a Tribe song.
I left my wallet in
That's a Tribe song, Bonita Applebum?
I thought that was Most Def.
No, that's
he just referenced it, didn't he?
Yeah,
you're right.
left my wallet. And
Which is appropriate because Tribe, without Tribe, there wouldn't be a lot of these like New York styles. Like people wouldn't be like that confident in coming out and like just doing something soulful, jazzy, funky. It's funny because I got caught up on Tribe because of I was in elementary school and there was an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where like I think Uncle Phil was talking about like how hip hop is like just like classless and like you know all the stereotypical like upper class like criticisms about hip hop were like weighed in this sitcom in the 90s. I was a kid.
That sounded like early Fresh Prince too.
Yeah, it was first Aunt Viv.
Yeah,
but she but Will just basically like put Tribe on blast. He was like, he referenced him right out the gate. He was like, oh well, what about A Tribe Called Quest? You know, that's not Will Smith's voice.
Join with Busta. The joint with Busta is definitely.
Oh yeah. And they worked together a few times actually.
That's my favorite because I saw it performed before I heard it on the radio. And
Rock the Bells?
No, just on TV.
Okay.
And I didn't know Busta Rhymes was on it.
Yeah.
What the fuck is
we got our own podcast going.
Welcome to the Esco and Mike show.
Obviously, Q-Tip's like the breakout
scenario
of Tribe, but like Phife was there from the beginning. Like they knew each other since like Sunday school. Like
Linden Boulevard, represent, Zen Tribe Called Quest, represent. When the mic is in my hand, I'm never hesitant. My favorite jam back in the day was Eric B for president.
in the documentary Beats, Rhymes, and Life, which everyone who's a fan or is curious about Tribe should check out.
Dope. Michael Rappaport directed that.
Yep.
Yeah,
is he a Boston dude? Seems like
you know what?
Sounds like an East Coast dude for sure.
You know, he's definitely. I think
he's in a bunch of Spike Lee movies.
I think he's a New Yorker, but his fucking brother is from Boston. I think because I think his brother or cousin comes to my bar and he looks exactly like him. It's like Will Rappaport or some shit. Like, yo, he's like, yo, what up, dude? No, he's from Boston for real.
It's a well put together documentary, and they deserve it, you know, because Tribe represents like a lost form of hip hop, like when NWA started coming up.
Native tongues.
Yeah, and they kind of just like champion that like old school Four Pillars vibe. That Grandmaster Flash and everyone were on the up and up, but
with Jungle Brothers and De La Soul, and it just kept going on like Black Sheep and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Phife complimented Q-Tip, who is the breakout, but he complimented Q-Tip really well, and all their
no one else could do it like Phife.
Yeah, exactly, because they grew up together, so it's like all their little like back and forth raps together. You know, it's like it's less corny than like Run DMC's old stuff, you know, and it's a little more timeless.
You're on point, Phife. All the time, Tip. You're on point, Phife. All the time, Tip. You're on point, Phife. All the time, Tip. So then grab the microphone and let your words rip. Now here's a funky introduction of how nice I am. Tell your mother, tell your father, send
They just had like a swag about them, you know, like it's and before even like that term was like really huge, you know, like it's they just had like an assurance about them, and it wasn't rooted in anything like that was just trying to be something else, you know.
Right.
It wasn't rooted in like a fictional persona. It was like who they were.
It was inner confidence.
Yep. And it's timeless music. It's like Ali Shahi Muhammad. Like he found like really good like funky soul like music to like really chop it up to, and then they had like a bounce to their music, you know, that just it feels good, but it also, I don't know, like JD, take this shit from me.
I was gonna say my favorite Tribe track is actually Electric Relaxation.
Oh yeah,
so relax yourself, man.
Yeah, basically because of the fact that shit was like the theme for the Wayans Brothers, the TV show or whatever. Yeah. I didn't realize it was that track until I got older. I was like, oh,
the first theme from the
the first theme from the Wayans Brothers.
You just
TV
feel
show.
good when you listen to that song.
It's such a good song. Like it's such a great vibe and has definitely that jazzy flow that I dug a lot, man.
It's one of the few hip hop songs about sex that you could actually fuck to.
Yeah,
because it's like it's smooth, you know. It's like it's not.
It's slow.
I wouldn't know nothing about that.
Yeah, but it's slower compared to a lot of like hip hop songs. But like it's just the flow of it. It's just so good, man.
If I was working at the club, you would not pay. Hey yo, my man Phife Dawg, he got something to say.
I like them brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. Name is Phife Dawg from the Zulu Nation.
Never fucked to a DMX album? No?
I fucked to that DMX video of him on the roller coaster where he's like, oh no, I got this.
Just the Damien song.
Oh yeah, they just released that damn video again.
He's like he's on a carnival ride and he's still DMX.
I fucked to the conversation with Damien.
I think I gotta. I mean, it's cliche since I'm going to talk about it later. But Low in Theory, the Tribe album, Low in Theory, is probably one of my favorites, and that's the one that like Phife really gets down on because
Well, the first album, Path of His Instinctive Travels, whatever the fuck. That was all Q-Tip.
People's Rhythms and Path.
That was all Q-Tip.
Yeah, that was all
And then
Q-Tip.
the second one was Perfect, like you said. That was like the Phife album.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mostly
like his debut.
Q-Tip is there, but Phife stole that fucking album, like for real. You know
and
what I
he
mean?
was there
Like,
from the beginning, so it's finally he got his dues, or whatever.
Can I kick it to my tribe that flows in layers? Right now, Phife is a point sayer. At times, I'm a studio conveyor. Mr. Dinkins, would you please be my mayor? You'll be doing us a really big favor. Boy, this track really has a lot of flavor.
We still haven't heard a rhyme from Jerobi, but he's still around somehow. But yeah, anyway. But
and we reviewed a Consequence album. I did. On the last.
The family is still going on. But Phife had that sports swag.
Yeah.
So he was like always on point with a throwback jersey, and, like representing the Knicks, and like in his jersey, and like in the videos, and like even outside, like, and then even when Q-Tip started kind of doing like the whole like Andre 3000 thing,
Such
kind
a
of
bad
like
thing.
Yeah, that was it's an insane beat
during
from Dilla, but
that
still.
phrase, during that phrase.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but like Phife just was just a real guy. You know what I mean? Like he was a blue collar rapper. You know what I mean? He went home to his wife after work. You know what I mean? And like wrote some rhymes, watched some movie. You could see like had some food and like whatever. Like that was his day. Like where Q-Tip was doing some weird shit. So it was like that's where you know what I mean. We could relate to Phife. You know, he was like the listener's relatable rapper.
Like in they were talking about it in Beats, Rhymes, and Life, right? He had this weird high pitched voice. At first, he tried to like do something different with it, but they were like, no, just that's like the tone, that's the pitch that you should be with, and we'll compliment you or whatever. And so he has this like everyman quality about him. That's like, and then Tribe is just kind of like an every person, like like there's a perspective to it, but there's also a timelessness to it that like classic music has.
Quest was whack, but now is that the case? I have a quest to have a mic in my hand. Without that, it's like Kryptonite and Superman. So Shaheed come in with the sugar cuts.
I could talk about Tribe forever, but we should go on to our next thing.
But we could. But R.I.P. Phife. I know he probably perhaps has a posthumous EP coming out where we don't know any because this is a new video and it was actually a dedication to Dilla, who we're going to talk about later in our review section. Man, 6 years ago, another one has fallen, and this one hits home because he's the all-time greatest MC, from Boston. Even though he is from Boston, he did all his music in New York and Brooklyn with a guy from Houston, DJ Premier. So it was weird. You get Boston, Houston, and they're just rapping about Brooklyn, the planet, the whole time. But Guru. Yeah. Keith Elam. He died at 48 of cancer 6 years ago, and he was one of the best yet. He was the best. He was the perfect compliment for DJ Premier because if you had anyone more lyrical, you're taking away from the best beats ever made. And then if you had anyone less, it wouldn't live up to like the greatness of the beats. He just had the perfect monotone, smooth style that fit DJ Premier's classic signature breaks. And in addition to Gangstar, he was a jazz guy. When Guru wasn't rhyming in the booth with Premier, he was in the jazz clubs. And I know like my uncle's boy Mark, he was a jazz singer and he used to kick it with Keith in Boston because they had great jazz clubs too, or in New York as well. So
lounging
mellow out and just lounging. Can't refuse this, never lose this. It's a choice, this, cause my voice is the smoothest. Dominating to your boys, cause I've been around doing work, and so have tons of other jerk.
They would hang out, and that was who he was. He just hung out in jazz clubs. That was his thing. He was not a hip hop dude. He did, and it's amazing to say that he was a jazz guy, because Gang Starr is hip hop. You don't get like other than maybe a Tribe Called Quest. You don't get any more hip hop than Gang Starr. That's just like DJ, producer, MC, just boom bap beats. They're the definition of hip hop. You know what I mean? And Gang Starr is. And for that guy to go to that level, and then he had this whole other Miles Davis side to it. You know what I mean? Like he was just like, and it's amazing to see the Mr. Jasmine Taz do what he did for Gang Starr all those years. And man, it's just like the hoodie shows is for life. Gang Starr forever. No matter what, like we see it in Prime right now with DJ Premier and Royce of 5'9", who has an album out right now. But Prime is trying to carry on that legacy, and they're doing pretty good with the DJ, and it's a good chemistry they got going on. But anything Gang Starr's is timeless.
While real MCs and DJs are a minority, but right about now I use my authority, cause I'm like the wizard and you look lost like Dorothy.
We got to do an episode about like the weird trend of like hip hop deaths, because like obviously Biggie and Tupac were shot and killed, and that's like the picture that the media wants to paint. But like it's more about a class issue. You have like Nate Dogg, you have like Dilla like dying of a blood. What is it? Coagulation disease? Like all these people just dying of like
Phife. Yeah, I mean, how did he go?
Diabetes.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like it's all about like
cancer. It's sickness.
Lack of like just healthcare. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
And then you got all the rockers dying from heroin and shit, like rich people drugs. So it's like
right. There's a dichotomy there.
Yeah, there's a weird dichotomy.
Explored.
We should definitely explore it one day.
Is it geeky? Well, we gotta get into geek stuff right now, but anyway,
moving on.
It has come to our attention that a mysterious force is loose somewhere in outer space.
The mysteries of creation are there.
Up in the sky?
Up in the sky.
The moon and the planets are there, and new hopes for knowledge and peace are there. And therefore, as we set sail...
The most recent thing that we've been seeing a lot in like Marvel comics is hip hop variants of popular comic books. So like one that I liked, like we were talking about it earlier, it was a Power Man and Iron Fist, but it's the Eric B and Rakim cover.
Oh, that's tight.
And then there's
I've now seen that one.
Yeah, and another one, like I said, is the Black Panther, but it's Jay-Z's Black Album.
Oh, the Black Album. Yeah, of course, naturally. And they all make sense. They're not just like, all right, let's just throw Spider-Man on this, because like they all kind of fit like mentally as well. Like there's a reason why, help me out here, Ms. Marvel.
Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan is the miseducation of Kamala Khan. Like that almost makes sense.
Yeah, and Lauryn Hill, and they did a Nas Illmatic with Spider-Man, Miles Morales,
which makes sense. He's on the come up. He's looking at like everything that's going on in the Marvel universe through his project window. I'll never sing again. I promise. I'll never sing again, Esco. I'm sorry. But yeah, all the covers make sense, and even like. One of the dopest ones was, I think it was the Game cover by the new Wolverine, X-23. Like, that made complete sense. Like, it's so dope.
And they did DMX, with this shit, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. That cover was somebody. I forgot.
Actually, that was it, wasn't it? Wasn't the Flesh of My Flesh is Wolverine? Yeah, my bad. Either way, Game, sense. DMX, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking people up. But yeah, it makes it all fits in Wolverine. But yeah, it makes sense. And it's dope that Marvel's doing it. Actually, and I know you want to help me out with this, is the Black Panther writer.
Ta-Nehisi Coates.
There you go.
Yes.
He's going to pronounce everything for me. I'm a fucking stupid kid from Boston. But he said, as a kid, I had comic books and hip-hop, and anybody who knows anything about hip-hop knows that hip-hop for years has borrowed from comic books, and specifically, and by and large, from Marvel. So there's a reason it goes back and forth. You know what I mean? Hip-hop has stolen stuff, as we already mentioned. The MF Doom stealing from the cartoons, of course, wu-tang and whatever. And even, he acknowledges this. So now even the writers from Marvel are getting involved in this. And it even leads to Netflix now, right?
Yes, it does.
Guess you guys haven't heard about me. I'm about sick of always having to buy new clothes.
King of the town. Yeah, I've been there.
We learned that recently that Adrian Young, who did the Black Dynamite soundtrack, and I forgot the other cats.
And he did that shit with Ghostface too.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He's doing the soundtrack for Luke Cage on Netflix. So I'm very excited about that.
Alicia Heed,
that's the other guy. Yes,
Black Dynamite the movie or Black Dynamite the show?
The movie. Actually, and some of the tracks actually ended up on the cartoon. So yeah, but he did most of the original stuff. A lot of people thought it was from like the 70s and all that good stuff. He just did that in his house. You know what I'm saying? He like they said in the commentary that he was almost waiting for this type of movie.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested in the sound of what Luke Cage is going to be like, because they are specifically going for a grimy hip hop feel.
Do you think it'll have elements of blaxploitation? Do you think
definitely.
Luke Cage, because of Power Man, is obviously like a riff off of Shaft?
Yeah, his
I was about to say that. It'd be like if Isaac Hayes was just like grabbing his dick the whole time. You know, like it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
like,
his origin comes out of the popularity of blaxploitation, because of the fact they would create him as basically Shaft for a superhero, as Shaft as a superhero. So that's basically Luke Cage. And like I said, they really are going aggressively for the hip hop feel for Luke Cage, because it's set in Harlem too. So
I really hope they do it right.
Yeah, me too.
Like Nas said, life is good.
Yes.
And we have it now.
Yes.
We are living the dream.
Black Dynamite the movie was great.
Yes, it
Black
was.
Dynamite the show makes me highly upset.
You don't want to get him upset.
I mean, there's definitely instances of comics trying to do hip hop like really poorly. Like early versions of Vibe were pretty like, oh, you're like really trying too hard.
Cisco on Flash, right?
Yeah, exactly.
there you go. Shout out.
And then and that's when they're just trying to like appeal to an audience without just trying to like bring them in exclusively, you know?
But yo, it goes both ways. Remember the fucking video game albums they used to have, and like there was like two dope tracks. I think Big Suge from Boston, shout out, he rapped over Mike Tyson's Punch Out. That was was insane. And then the Cocoa Brothers, Smith and Wesson, rapped over Mario.
ST, what I represent. NY, hold it down for my peeps in the Ville and do or die for
So that was a big hit, actually. It was even on the radio because it was Mario. That was like the one song they had on the radio. So that was cool, but like that Game On, I think it was, or Game, it was like ridiculous. It was like forced. You know what I mean? And like that's not what we're talking about. Geek
To this
Swag.
day, I still want to do an album where all the beats samples songs from Ocarina of Time.
And so many rappers that actually got their name inspired by comic book characters. Like,
yeah, you got some for us?
Yeah, David Banner. Come on.
Nah, I never heard of him.
Yeah, really?
Just kidding.
Really?
Bruce Banner. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, David Banner.
But why David?
Yeah. David from the TV show, from the 70s. The Don't Make Me Angry, You Wouldn't Like Me When I'm Angry, Bill Bixby. That one.
Gotcha.
And Jean Grey.
Female obviously,
rapper. And of course, obviously, MF Doom. So.
Oh, yeah.
Motherfucking Doom.
MC Spider-Man, he stole his name from
Superman.
I wonder where you get that from.
Dude on Hollywood Boulevard. Yo, $5, motherfucker.
Oh,
buy my CD and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
shit. Come on, here it is.
I was gonna say, you remember that game, Def Jam Fight for New York?
Yeah.
Oh, Vendetta too.
Yeah, and Vendetta. Yeah.
Do you remember fucking Shaolin Style, the Wu-Tang game on PS4 or PS1,
or Shaq Fu?
Or Shaq
going even further.
50 Cent had a game, wasn't it pretty good? 50 Cent.
Yeah. What is it? Blood and Sands or something?
I didn't know he had a game.
It's like a third-person cover shooter.
Esco's gonna call Richard Zom right now. I need an obscure video game right now for Super Nintendo.
Parappa the Rapper.
That game was fucking dope, man. Wow.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it was. I still remember the first level rap. I'm not gonna do it for you right now, but
it's all in your mind.
Yeah.
If you want to test me.
Test me, I'm sure you'll find the things I'll teach ya. Be sure to beat ya. Nevertheless, you'll get a lesson from teacher. Now kick.
Yeah, so that's what's cool about the Luke Cage thing is that they're not like trying to appropriate black culture and hip hop. They're just fucking giving it to everyone. They're just being inclusive about it, which is really dope. And then if you're gonna do it, it's in New York or whatever. It's not Hell's Kitchen, probably.
No, it's Harlem.
Probably it's Harlem. Oh fuck! Well, shit. If it was Queens, it'd be like even more appropriate because of Tribe. But Ali Shaheed Muhammad's like affiliation with Tribe. But I mean, this is I can't wait, dude. Especially with this Marvel whole Netflix thing. It's like it's supposed to be gritty. It's supposed to be real and raw. Like this is taking it to another level where it's not too over dramatic. It's more like, this is like a mirror image of the world I see.
As long as Iron Fist is Asian, I'm all good for it, man.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, see the thing is with the representation and diversity in comics and movies and stuff.
For sure.
Everyone's like, She-Hulk or She-Thor, Lady whatever, Lady Batman. I think
Lady Black Panther.
I think it's cooler if we had like more original characters done like with diversity already, and then like just brought those up. Like bring up your Miss Marvels, bring up your Luke Cages, bring up your Black Panthers. Yeah. I mean, and hip hop goes with that because hip hop is all about being like subversive and being about like just screaming for representation. I mean, it's like the reaction that the black community had after the white community appropriated like every single fucking art form, like the blues.
Yeah.
Blues was taken by white people, like fucking disco, funk taken by white people. So like, oh, hip hop. This is like you can't possibly like because it's a class thing, like you can't possibly take this.
Hey, have you heard of?
And then Iggy Azalea got to Florida, and it was all downhill.
Had to do that.
But they haven't completely taken over, It's like rock and roll.
Macklemore formed like Voltron. Ellen DeGeneres.
But
added a battery pack to the back of the suit, and it was just
No, but seriously though, if you have skills, you have skills.
Yeah.
Like whether you're white, green, girl, fat, skinny.
But if you don't have skills and Ellen calls you, then you still get on.
That's corporate America, man. Have you heard of Token?
No.
He's one of the illest lyricists. Of course, a white guy from Boston again. They just come from Boston, the white guys that are good at rap. But like he's insane. And there's a swaying.
Eminem's from Boston, right?
Yeah, Detroit. 8 Mile.
Marky Mark, right?
All those great white lyricists come from Boston.
Was that Eminem name drop number 3 or 4? Yeah.
Marky Mark.
That was one for me. I think he's on 2.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Geek Swag drinking game. Every time Eminem, Kanye West.
Yeah.
Oh, now I got LP and Cage mad at me because they're from New York. But anyway, no, Token's ill, and he was on the Sway and Tech show not too long ago, and he was bringing tears to black people's faces because he has a lot of heart, a lot of good lyrics.
You cut the beat for a second. Let me just go acapella for this last 8 bars. You cut the beat for a second. I said I'm raising a prophet like Mary and Joseph. But to be honest, Sway, man, this bragging shit is worthless. See, I don't know about you, but I got a bigger purpose. You say, fuck the world, but your revelation is pointless. You say, freedom of speech, but my generation is voiceless, and I'm tired of it. And they will not help. So you won't love yourself until you are yourself, and you are not yourself. Avoidance is a drug. You can't post your whole fucking life on Instagram and expect not to be judged, man. We vulnerable. We all just vulnerable.
I'm not saying white people can't rap or do hip hop.
I mean,
I'm just
can't
saying
rap. I'm not gonna try.
I'm just saying it's like
on Esco's record. Then I'll try.
I'm just saying like comics, hip hop exists as a reaction to something, and also as like a foot in the door, as like just like a whole new thing. It's the new punk rock,
Yeah, it was birthed in black culture.
Yeah.
So it was that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a reflection of black culture.
Right.
And a lot of people, some people do tend to get upset because of the fact some white people have come in and kind of made their own mark in it. But however, like I said, I don't really care so much about so much as race is what you have to talk about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you are a white person and you rapping about your experiences or whatnot, that's your thing.
But there's a flip side to this too. There's also when
you do a song about a thrift shop and how you only have $20, but then the outfit you perform the song in costs several hundred.
Right.
I'm actually
that kind of flip side.
Yeah, that kind of.
You know what? Macklemore. Guess who reviewed that album?
Oh yeah.
Bellsore. Favorite record of the year.
No, I won't say my favorite.
Where the fuck is he from? That nigga just showed up. Like, he's not from anywhere. He's just like, hey, I'm number one now.
I gave it a decent review. Like I said, my only big complaint is because of the fact he was rapping about certain things that I could not relate to.
You know what? I can't relate to it either, and he's white. So, but let me get to this point real quick. There's also I know on Reddit there was an outlash of the hip hop variants because there's not a lot of black or Hispanic or ethnic creators in Marvel. So basically, essentially, you have like a 95% with like 5% Indian. Right, let's be honest. Company, Marvel Comics, and then they're drawing and writing all these great comics, and they're using hip hop, which is we know, And then you got some people not happy. It's like, why don't you hire black writers? And like, you know what I mean? So
a lot of companies take the Cleveland show approach when it comes time to appeal to the black audience. They're like, oh, we've got all these stats right here that tell us what black people like.
Yeah.
We'll just get some white people to write things according to these stats.
Yeah.
And we'll be fine.
They've had a couple of instances.
Josh Goldstein.
Yeah, they've had a couple of instances in comics where they've used like black writers and artists. Like basically the most prominent one being Milestone. The one in the 90s that was very hip-hop infused. And a lot of the creators from that, Dwayne McDuffie in particular, went on to work for both Marvel and DC. Actually, Dwayne McDuffie is like the brainchild behind Justice League Unlimited, the cartoon. He was like their main writer, and that's like some of the best cartoon writing ever.
Phenomenal.
And he created Static Shock.
I got to give it up to Marvel, man. They've definitely been, I won't say pushing the envelope, but definitely
I like envelope.
Moving in the right direction as far as the diversity and including not just different races, but different genders and just different people,
points of view. Yeah.
Yeah. And incorporating that in not just the surface level where they might have, a black character or, a non-white character or whatever, or a female instead of a male, but below the surface with the writers, the producers, the directors, the people, the creators, the people involved.
Ta-Nehisi fucking Coates, someone who's been on the Daily Show multiple times, someone who's like an outspoken, like really intelligent journalist, and who's like been like very on the forefront of like racial issues in America, like Rights for the Atlantic right now, is on Black Panther, the big book going into Civil War. It's their big marketing thing.
So could we basically sum up those arguments and that disappointment on Reddit is just, hey, it's coming. It's happening right now.
I mean,
it hasn't happened. We're getting rid of the old white America, and it's happening. The diversification in comics is happening right now. So we just have to be a little patient because it's happening. It's not going to happen overnight. It's happening slowly and
at the end of the day, you just pay with your wallet. You support and you buy everything that like you see yourself in, and you see diversity in. Yeah. You see the change you want in the world in.
Right.
Yeah, and another
buy the change you want to be, or whatever. Buy the change you want to see in the world.
That's the title of our show. Yeah. The first show, I think.
Diversity. And another
motivational quotes brought to you by capitalism. Buy the change you want to be.
Yeah.
One problem at a time.
Yeah, I was going to say another great run, especially on Black Panther, was in the early 2000s with Reggie Hudlin. He did probably the best run on Black Panther.
Oh, Christopher Priest, man.
Christopher Priest was great too, but like the Reggie Hudlin one was a lot more explanatory, and that's the one where they did the Black Panther Mary Storm storyline was with Reggie Hudlin, and it if you read it, there's a lot of hip hop reference in that too. And actually, I think the wedding was broadcast on BET.
Are you serious?
Yeah. In the comic, it was just weird.
Hosted by Tigger.
Yeah, actually,
Joe Cool.
Actually, it was hosted by whoever the fuck it was on 106 in Park at the time.
Oh shit!
I think it was AJ and Free.
Yeah.
So yeah, they introduce hip hop all the time, man.
It's so funny. I haven't thought about 106 in Park forever.
They're bringing it back.
Are they?
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
I saw the announcement for it came on April Fools. I thought it was bullshit, but then I looked it up. I was like, yeah, they're bringing it back.
I didn't know it was gone.
Yeah, they got rid of it like 2 years ago.
If we're talking about hip hop and comics too, we gotta shout out to Aaron Magruder, man. I mean, the Boondocks, like the TV show, is a Pulitzer Prize winning TV show.
Yes, it is.
It's all hip hop centric, and it's not even afraid to criticize its own community. Like he had the Dr. Martin Luther King, the King Lives Again episode.
Yes,
that probably won him the Pulitzer Prize, talking about like the community like eating itself alive or whatever.
The reason I like the Boondocks is the same reason I hate the cartoon of Black Dynamite. I avoided the Boondocks for 3 seasons, 3 and some change.
Those were the best seasons. Yeah.
I agree, but I avoided them because I expected it to be like what Black Dynamite, the cartoon, is. How many black jokes can we cram in 30 minutes?
Oh yeah,
but it's not that. It's not making fun of black people. What it is, and from my perspective, is bringing the issues that the black community has within itself. It's bringing those to light in a humorous way.
Yeah.
And then wrapping it all up with, here's how we can fix it. Here's what we need to be doing differently. This is what's wrong. This is what's right. Let's try to make some change.
Yeah.
Whereas Black Dynamite is just big dick jokes, watermelon, chicken, Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Like I just couldn't.
And it's usually some like white stoner dudes at like college that like that show.
Yeah. And like it really it really hit me. What got me to finally watch the Boondocks, they almost did it with the R. Kelly episode.
Oh my God.
They almost did it. But as I'm sure you all have heard, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes.
So when they clowned Tyler Perry,
oh yeah,
I was all completely on board. Didn't care what happened within the episode.
The funniest part about that episode to me was the lotion boy part.
Yes.
He just like Tyler Perry prestige or whatever for caricature or whatever. He's like, oh, okay, wait, something's missing. Lotion. And like, this dude and it's this real bruh. He's like, what flavor you want, man? We got he had like a belt of lotions. Like a flavor. Like, you want me to pick one for you?
I love it. Yeah.
Minty mango it is. He started rubbing the guy down, man. It's hilarious.
Hey, are we gonna have any more content for an episode 2? You guys are killing it right now.
More fire.
We could do a whole episode about the Boondocks, probably.
Yeah,
just
man.
like dissecting the shit out of it.
This stuff is constantly evolving. There's always room for another episode.
For sure. All right, let's get right into the music.
Run.
Let's get into it. Actually, we'll stick with Esco, your boy, Open Mike Eagle, with Paul White, the producer. You, Hella Personal Film Festival. You reviewed that shit, and you didn't appear on it, but you did a song with them, so talk.
Indeed, man. That shit was good. I feel that I like to give myself a pat on the back when I can approach something that may not necessarily be, something that I would aggressively seek out and try to find, like wake up one morning like, man, I want to hear this song, or I want to hear this kind of music. But I can still listen to that kind of music and appreciate it for what it is. The Open Mike Eagle album is not some shit that I would wake up, turn on, and be like, yes, I'm so glad I finally get to hear this song right now. Like, this makes me so hyped. But sitting down, listening to it, paying attention to the way it's constructed, paying attention to the message behind it, paying attention to the words he's saying, the concepts of the songs, like, it's brilliant. It's an incredible work of art. It's catered, as I said in my review, like to Pimp a Butterfly, built for stand-up comedians. It's well known. It's well known that Open Mike is a huge fan of stand-up. And
he's an improv dude too, right?
And he blends it all so well.
Pardon me, Mr. Officer. The room's spinning and my thoughts are blurred. This might be dumb, but where them butterfly wings on your face come from?
His rhyme schemes, they often have joke punchlines. Like they're set up as if they are part of a stand-up set. And like, not only did I appreciate that refreshing approach to it, but it's legitimately funny. Like he says some things and you're like, wait a minute, let me go back and make sure. He really just like, and at the same time, like he can say something that makes you laugh, but also like affects you in your day to day, or at least for me, the song "Check to Check."
Yeah, I was about to say that, like, dude. Favorite song on the album. Fuck.
Anytime I'm at work and like I'm checking my phone, I feel guilty now because I'm like, fuck, I'm checking in here, I'm checking in there, I'm checking in. Like, I feel guilty.
Check.
And on top of that, like when I'm walking down the street and a white lady crosses the street because she's scared of me, or if I nod at someone and they just look me right in my face and then, turn around or don't speak to me when I say hello, instantly nobody smiles at me because I'm a black man. Like it's such a great album, and that song, like it touches on like social issues. The issues that most people feel uncomfortable when you discuss or like try to shy away from. Like, oh, let's not talk about that right now. Blah 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 blah. But the way he presents it is humorous, and then like the hook is catchy.
So hell yeah! So it's a legitimately like really catchy song.
Yeah, like you find yourself singing along, and then you find yourself like repeating the jokes because it's funny to you, and then you think about it, you're like, wait, that just happened.
Just like I'm merging, checking the left lane. I'm trying to get home so I can check if my check came. Checking if what I sent looks poorly written. But did that dude holler back? No, of course he did. And my laptop don't sleep. Open and shut case, I'm checking for mail while it's checking for updates. My timeline's popping, ain't talking to you. Look, my man, Dar Adams, straight dropping the jewels. I should reduce my check count to a moderate view, but watch pot don't boil so my water stay cool. Check to check. Keep living from.
Like that's some real shit, So it's dope.
He's just like a real dude. you don't hear that the first time around. You hear the jokes, you hear the whatever the style that he has, the conversational improv style. But then you hear those social issues on the second layer of the listen in that, and that's what I got from listening from the first track to the back, and it's definitely in the top 3 to 5 of the year for sure. That was a great review too.
Yeah, so. And I mean, talking about like being inclusive and shit like that, the instrumental on that song, the beat on that song is like straight up tech house. Like it's not even like everyone's trying to do the dubstep thing, everyone's doing the trap thing, and like the really obvious EDM like slams, but like it's tech house. It's like it's European. It's like it's fucking like underground. Is probably never gonna blow up. Like Disclosure almost came close to blowing it up, but like nah.
Also, we had a pair of albums from some Def Jux vets. No longer with them, but RJD2 with Dame Fortune. I saw him in concert last week, and that was the first time I seen him in concert. And let me tell you, you're in for a treat. He even at like an hour and a half is just like one of the. It was actually my girlfriend's like favorite show of all the hip hop shows, and probably because he kind of looks like Ryan Gosling. Fucking girl. But no. But dude killed it. Seriously, like, and he's it's because it's like one thing is like, oh, am I really gonna pay a ticket to go see a DJ, like a hip hop DJ? It's kind of different than like seeing an EDM DJ. But yeah, this dude plays a guitar, like he's just multi-talented and like gets everyone in, and plus he brought guests on, so he had some vocal guests too, and it was really sick. It was really tight. And Dame Fortune is kind of like, I call Dame Fortune in RJD2, basically he's the DJ Shadow for women. Basically he's just like, you know what I mean, like he's got like there's a lot of soul and a lot of like smooth vocals in his songs, but it's very gritty industrial and hip hop on the bottom of it, and he did a great job with that. And then moving on, a Boston native, of course, Mr. Lift with Don't Look Down. He hasn't done an album in 7 years.
Oh shit.
So yeah, one half of the Perceptionist, I should say, 1/3 with DJ Fax One and Acrobatic, and it was great to hear Mr. Lift, and he's on Mellow Music Group. So if you want good music, Mellow Music Group, because guess who's on that? Open Mike Eagle is too. So
cool.
That's Nice. So that's a label right there. You just gotta. It's kind of like Jamlo is blowing up on it, and then that Jamlo album, like Mellow Music Group, you gotta peep it, because it's like this is the new come up. It's like very independent music, but it can appeal to all ears. You know what I mean? It's not like we're not trying to be elitist. We don't hate. You know what I mean? Like there might be some like auto-tune type shit we might not prefer, but this is music that can be enjoyed by everybody. It just needs to get out there, and I think Mellow Music Group is the right name and is the right label. And I think Mr. Lift's comeback, it was a short album, kind of Illmatic style, I believe 10 or 11 tracks, and definitely worth it. Definitely worth the $9. He's like, he has that socio-political topics, and he also tells a lot of stories, but it has a sci-fi feel to it, and he definitely has some geek references, so it's very geek swag.
Futures, those sutures at wounds, open tombs, let spirits loom, ancestors walk in the room, talking of gloom, a dash of optimism. If I rock the rhythm, the griot flowed, so I stopped to listen. Tales from then, those remain the lessons of now. Questions like how accumulate like sweat on your brow.
And it blew my mind. I gave it a 4.25. You can read the review, and you can read Esco's review on GodHatesGeeks.com. But yeah, Mr. Liv is with Open Mic. I mean, those are two. If you RJD2 had some kind of like tonal problems where there's some bangers and there's some just weird low end lo-fi stuff that I didn't feel it like Dead Ringer. But
yeah, that's like a seminal album.
I know.
So like he's probably high watermark for sure, right?
Well, no, and he pretty much like he's got a few albums that are really like consistent with the tone and the vibe. And
but Dead Ringer's like his Kid A. It's like his dark side, and like fucking legit.
Of course, and of course, how can I talk about RJD2 and not talk about his name? RJD. Yeah, but RJD2, that was really poor, by the way.
This time you have gone too far.
Yeah, well,
I've been drinking shit. Dilla.
Yes.
J Dizzle. JD reviewed JD.
I know.
Oh,
I had
inappropriate.
I had the pleasure reviewing the latest posthumous album from James Yancey, better known to the world as J Dilla.
How many albums is this posthumous now?
This will be his 6th one.
Donut, yeah, fuck, man.
Yeah,
I don't even want to list them.
That's the first. Actually, in the first one is what got me on Dilla in the first place because
Donuts.
I think it's
J Love Japan.
J Love Japan is the one that got me on Dilla.
Oh, did you know that they're re-releasing that in 2 weeks?
Yeah. I just found it out recently. Yeah,
preview of our preview segment.
I looked at your notes.
Yeah. But yeah, my homie back home, dude by the name of Mike Bean, is actually the one that put me on J Dilla in the first place. I was
Shout out.
yeah, definitely shout out to Mike Bean out of Montgomery, Alabama.
Mike Bean.
Yeah, but he put me on like a bunch of different tracks. I was just listening for some good music, and one of the things he put me on was Dilla. He's a big Dilla fan. So yeah, I got a chance to take a listen to this album. I really enjoyed the hell out of it, man.
Did you know? Not to. Well, yeah, I love interrupting you.
Yeah,
we have that thing going on.
It's a common thing.
If you guys heard the Peacher's Prit,
yeah,
the Peacher's Prit or the
not a podcast,
which is ironic because I'm like the biggest dude in here, and everybody keeps interrupting me. But it's whatever. Go ahead, Moody.
Stop.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna stop interrupting.
Mike ran out of his garage. But no, for real. Did you know that he produced? Did you know back in the day, that he produced Runnin' by Lab Cab in California and
I didn't learn that till
Farside.
I didn't learn that till later.
And Stakes is High.
Yeah,
you know them Stakes is High.
Yes.
But yeah, dude, like this guy's been around doing shit, and of course he's the Uma with Beats Rhymes and Life.
And my thing is like when I first discover somebody, if I start liking their stuff, I want to learn everything about them. So
you did the research.
So everything you just said in terms of like what he produced, what he didn't produce, I learned all that after the fact. Of course, we lost him in 2006.
Word.
To I think a chronic blood disease.
Yeah.
But
sounds scary as fuck.
I love the album itself. Like couple. My favorite track on there of all the tracks on there was Trucks, where he took the beat from Gary Newman's Cars. You know, my car. But Save Us All, but he used it for Trucks, and like. I love that. I was just bobbing my head to that the whole day. And a couple other favorites of mine were like The Shining Part 1 and Part 2. I think Mad Lib was on one of those.
Yeah. Did you hear the Phil Collins reference in the first one? That's Phil, right? Am I right? That's Genesis.
That was exactly
in there?
right.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought I heard something like I heard it because I was like I was like in preparation. I heard all the albums I was shuffling on my fucking iPod and shit, but just hearing the albums, and I heard the Diary Today in full, and I was like, that's a Phil Collins sample. That's something I didn't hear the first time around.
Yeah, another dope one was Gangsta Boogie with Snoop and Cocaine.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I haven't heard anything from Cocaine
since the No Limit Top Dog.
No, the last meal when he was on No Limit. That was the last thing I heard from Cocaine, and that was like my favorite. That's really my favorite Snoop album, really. Right. But he was on that.
Over Doggy Style?
Honestly, yeah.
Wow.
That's
bitch, please.
Personal preference, my dude.
I had to go there, bitch.
A lot of people gonna be coming at me for that, but I don't give a fuck. Hey, personal preference. I prefer The Last Meal. I love that album.
For real?
Yeah.
He did have that one dope album with No Limit, and that was The Last Meal.
That was The Last Meal.
Yeah, because his other shit was like when he had Beats by the Pound.
Yes.
Beats by the Cent, almost like a fucking horrible. Fisher Price beat got my first Casio. It was fucking horrible. But when he had Dre back again and Eminem and Exhibit and all them helping him out, and that was a dope. That was like the last dope album he had before he fell in love with Pharrell.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah.
But overall, man, like I said, it's really this is the type of album for real like hip hop fans, man. Like it's not like super like poppy or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not what mainstream is really listening to right now. This is definitely an album for true hip hop fans. It's very, very smooth, very, very mellow. You know what I'm saying? Compared to a lot of albums, but I dug every one of them, man. These are these are like tracks that he recorded like in 2002. Right. You know what I'm saying? And they still work as well as it would have in 2002. Like they work as well now, and I really love the album. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Solid 4. And I got a question about the album. Is like, so he actually, I don't know how many tracks. I think 12, 13, something like that. I
believe so. Yeah.
And he only produced 3. Yeah. We're not used to that, except for the last time that happened, I believe, with J Lib. Yeah. So it was JD and Mad Lib on Champion Sound, and they took turns producing songs for each other. It was like amazing concept.
Yeah, Shining Part 2 was Mad Lib.
Right,
So
right.
There's a couple different ones.
Oh, that was dope. Just Shining 1 and 2 are dope.
Yes.
But yeah, but like, how does it feel listening to a JD album where he's the MC and he's not really necessarily the producer?
It's kind of weird, honestly, because
Yeah.
I'm not used. I mean, I used to that. I'm used to mostly just his instrumentals,
Or with Slum Village, yeah.
or him having just like guest people. You know what I'm saying? So to hear him actually do his thing is very unique. So.
For sure. Yeah, because a lot of the topics are relevant to like a lot of the trap artists today. It's the same shit. It's the strip clubs and malls, like, you know, because like what's funny is this is a guy, JD, who opened up the whole neo soul.
Yes.
But he was not that person. Like personally in his own personal life, he was a dude chilling at the strip club every day.
Yeah.
Throwing dimes. You know what I mean? Like that's what he did, but no one knew that because they hear his production for Erykah Badu.
Yes.
And the artists I mentioned, including Common and whatnot. And like the diary is definitely aptly named because you're actually getting to know him for maybe unfortunately the first time ever. You're really kind of knowing because we heard his lyrics, but you would hear it with the neo soul. Now you hear the gritty tracks that the other people produce, and you can kind of just, it's focused on his lyrics, so you actually kind of get to know who he was personally, and like he liked to have fun and he had a good time.
And like I said, it gives a very unique perspective of how Dilla was. You know what I'm saying? Like that differs from most of the other albums that he's came out, that have come out.
Despite the peers he had, and they're chilling in coffee houses, he's like, nah, fuck that, I'm going to drink.
But like I said, it's definitely worth a listen. I definitely recommend it to all the Geek Swag fans out there. It's definitely an album to check out.
That's what's up. We got some albums coming out, or release dates. Esco, anything you hear coming out from anybody?
DOOMStarks, indeed. It's got to be dope. I mean, Iron Man, Dr. Doom, together. Like it has to be dope. It's Ghostface. I saw Ghostface live last summer for the first time by himself. I'd seen him with Wu maybe 2 or 3 times before. Of course, he was late showing up each and every time. But I'm glad that he was there because I know a lot of times he's not there. Yeah, seeing him live just kind of gave me a whole new respect for him as a solo artist. I've always liked him. I liked Fish Scale. I like Bulletproof Wallets.
I thought Ghostface is an asshole, you told me.
I mean, he probably is. I'm not doubting that at all, but we're talking just his music. I strongly doubt that interacting with him, you wouldn't get like some kind of rude comment or almost get the shit slapped out of your face from some simple shit that you say to him. You know, like he seems like he'd be that kind of guy. Eventually you're going to get to his rude side, or he's going to say something rude to somebody in the vicinity. Like you will see it if you spend more than, I think, a couple hours with Ghostface. But musically, like, dude is dope. And it goes back to, like we were saying, the slang, that the pioneering of slang that Wu-Tang had going on. I think him and Raekwon were definitely up on the top of the ranks on that. And seeing him live, like I said, gave me a new respect for his solo acts. So that plus the Doom beats that are kind of right along his lines, mixed in with the comic book vibe. I've always liked the skits of meanwhile back in Stark's lab. Like I've always liked that shit, man. It's all perfectly timed.
Straight Super Friends. Man.
Yeah. So I mean, hearing that. I expect that to be my favorite of the year when that comes out.
Anything less than 5 Bibles on DOOMStarks is fucking a disappointment. It's like the most anticipated album in Geek Swag history.
Who's producing that? Who's going to be on that?
Yo, me and Esco were talking about that, and I was like...
I thought you were going to be like, me and Esco are.
Me and Esco... In fact, JD is too. Yes. But yeah, for real, we hope Doom definitely gets on some tracks, because... he's kind of sparse with for a while he was hooking up Wu-Tang and Raekwon on the Cuban Links too, and I know Ghostface on the Apollo Kids had a couple of tracks from Doom, and besides the used tracks, talk about the Son of Even, like the Master Ace album is all MF Doom songs that he had already released on the Metal Fingers instrumental album. So we're hoping for new tracks from MF Doom, because we haven't heard anything for a while that's like straight original. Like we've just heard a lot of like stuff that's been on his instrumental albums, but I wouldn't mind like hearing like Madlib, RZA. Like I wouldn't mind I think it would be a lot less pressure on them, and they can kind of just focus on geeking out on the vocals and letting other people chime in. Like I would love to hear Adrian Young. Like I don't mind. Like get some other people involved in producing, as long as it completely like, oh, you know who would be dope? Apollo Brown, because he remixed that Ghostface Book of Death. That would be sick. But yeah, just get people who have that Wu-Tang Doom sound. Alchemist would be a dope one. Like anybody in that kind of that brew baker of hip hop, kind of like that street level hip hop. You know what I mean? Like do it and it'll work. Like keep it comic influence. Like don't stray too far away from what people want.
Yeah, just be you. That's what having a sound is all about, right? It's just like doing you and like just expanding on that
for sure,
and not trying to like do something else.
So have you figured it out yet?
Well, fucking, I see in my notes that
gotta be the Asian guy.
Gotta have the notes, man.
I didn't know that De La Soul had an album coming out.
Well, you know, I don't know. Hip Hop DX has it, but then I have a better source for release dates, and they don't. But then again, wow, it's not like gunshots outside. Oh, Geek Swag Radio's heating up.
Sorry, there
Got
was
some shit that's it's like Hot 97 right now with like Little C's and Little Kim.
There was a Jurassic Park mosquito on my shirt. I had to.
I thought it was like another Capone versus Little C's fucking.
You should have left the illusion, dog. It's real out here, man. On Geek Swag Radio.
Blah, blah, blah.
Meanwhile, we're recording in Valencia.
But the and the Anonymous Nobody album, I don't know. I hope it drops, but I haven't heard shit from them except that they made a lot of money on Kickstarter.
So it's just rumor. Oh, okay. They made.
And
a
then
lot
they
of money.
went and like cruise shipped it. Fuck off with it. Like who knows, dude? I've not heard. I know they're performing at Rhymefest. I can say that on the 30th, and I will not be there because me and you are actually going to be somewhere else. Want to tell that everybody where Geek Swag Radio is going to be live at.
We're gonna see Madlib.
Madlib.
Yep.
Nice.
MF Doom. We're gonna see Fortet. Not MF Doom.
Oh, the dude. Come on.
Ben UFO.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds the same.
Ben UFO. Yeah.
You almost made me have a heart attack. I was like, really?
Right. We're seeing some eclectic world house kind of hip hop.
Fortet is like considered like IDM, like like brain dance or whatever. That's what they call it.
He remixed Bad Villain though. And that was a dope shit. That was a dope album. I'm going to hear it again. But
yes, it is. Man.
Looks like it's going to be a great day today to get some fresh air like a stray on a straightaway. Hey, you, got a light? Nah, a Bud Light. Early in the morning, face crud from like a mud fight. Looky here, it's just the way the cookie.
I'm there for Madlib, dude. Come on.
But De La Soul's one of those groups that's just like any legacy rock group, rap group, whatever, any music group. It's like. At any given time, they could make something that's just like something you could listen to, just chilling. Like it's not gonna, it's not gonna change the game. It's not gonna bring anything new to the table.
We don't know that.
We might, yeah.
Credit. I mean, these guys did when people said they were done. They came out with Stakes is High.
That's true. Yeah, that's
true. Change the game forever, son.
Yeah, but they're so engrossed in the sound, and like we talked about Tribe earlier. We like they just have their own sound and like it's can't wait.
Yeah, no, I can't. I think De La's 2 is one of those they're just never gonna fall off. You know, like some artists have, and like another one that's coming out of that album soon is Master Ace. That dude never fell off. Like there are some dudes, they're 50, 45. They never. Master Ace is one of the dudes that never fell off. Disposable Arts is a classic album. You know what I mean? Like, and whatever he shows up on someone's song. Rips it. Never. And I know The Falling Season is another concept album, and it's kind of him growing up through high school. So that's going to be dope. And like he always has the ill skits and like ill features and production, and that's coming out on May 13th. So Master Ace, De La Soul, old heads for new heads. Hopefully people are staying tuned on that. JD, you got any albums you were looking forward to?
Aside from
Drake. Views from the 6.
Aside from the Doom, that's the main one is DOOMStarks. That's the one I'm looking forward to more.
If it ever comes out.
If it ever comes out. But
that's the most Geek Swag Radio album that's coming out.
That's the one I'm mainly
and Run the Jewels 3.
Oh yeah, that's right. What's it called? Feel the Burn?
No. Run the Jewels 3. They always call it Run the Jewels 1 and 2, but yeah.
But yeah, straight up, that's my number one pick right there. I'm looking forward to that. I love hearing Doom. I can't wait to see what else he comes up with next year, dude.
You have anything else?
Honestly,
we need content.
Honestly, I know you need content.
First show, man.
I know you need content, but honestly, that's the first one and the only one that comes to my head right now.
Does anybody care for that Drake album? Like, it's the most hyped album in the history of hip hop. But does Geek Swag Radio care? Esco, you have more of a commercial listening. Than us. Like
I respect Drake.
Word,
I respect Drake a lot more, probably a good 10 times more than I did a year ago, mainly because of the champion level disrespect he laid down on Meek Mill.
You love it and you gotta get a world tour. Is that a world tour or your girl's tour? I know that you gotta be a thug for her. This ain't what she meant when she told you to open up more.
That was
That's
the
our
greatest.
next show.
No, not the greatest beef track ever or diss track ever, but definitely the greatest diss responses or diss tactics ever. Like, who else has played their diss track at the Philly stadium or at the stadium in the hometown of their victim?
I remember that. I was like,
who
oh my
else has
God.
gotten celebrities on camera laughing at the victim? Celebrities from the hometown of. Who else has gotten politicians involved in their beef?
Didn't Bret Hart say something on that shit too?
Probably.
Yeah, Bret Hart got involved.
Bret Hart?
Yeah, because he was rooting for Drake because he's Canadian. Yeah.
This is the real fucking Civil War.
Yeah.
We're not getting screwed.
Everyone.
I honestly just found out, like, all summer 16, playing dirty, not clean, whatever. Like, I heard that a million times.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, wait, it's the summer 2016. He's playing dirty. Like, I get it. Like, it took me a while. It took me a while to finally, like, catch on, but I'm not looking forward to the album. Never heard a Drake album all the way through. I tried with, was it Thank Me Later or something, the one where he's, like, looking really sad, sitting at a table by himself with all the gold shit around him. I tried listening to that one and got 4 songs in, and
that sounds like a Boondocks cartoon.
Yeah.
You know the one where he's like sitting down, like looking really sad.
But I'm gonna be real with you, and as the head of GHG Geek Swag Radio, for a while Drake was my shit. Like, I think everyone, right? At one point, no.
Yeah, of course. No, not at all.
You guys let me on. But no, for real. When Fonte Coleman was writing his lyrics from Little Brother, when he was hanging out with them cats and like just coming up before kind of hanging out with Wayne and getting in that, he was dope. Like, those mixtapes he had were like, I could relate to that shit so much because this is like pre-Drake Instagram, like, famous club, like, but like, yeah, it was just like, and it was like, I finally moved out my mama's basement. I got a apartment Hollywood Boulevard. I'm like, wait, that's me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, and that's Drake. And I was like feeling Drake until like everything kind of got in that like that, like dance, like future trap, whatever. Like, I get it. They're pushing a movement and it's working for a lot of ignorant motherfuckers. But like, as far as hip hop,
he's dope.
He's like, a dope lyricist, but like he hasn't.
It's a subject matter that I just can't relate to. Like, when I want to listen to music,
you can't relate to truffle butter.
I don't know. No, I cannot. No, I cannot. When I want to listen to music, like, I don't want to feel like I just broke up with someone.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I've just been disrespected by someone I love. You know, like, I don't want those kind of feelings embedded in me. Like, I want to get hype. I want to enjoy myself. I don't want to be in a romantic comedy or anything.
You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my
anytime I play music. So when it comes to Drake, I'm down with the singles where he's just talking shit, you know, and talking, you know, bigger than he is, I think. But I think he talks bigger than he is, but I don't think he's as much of a bitch as people pretend that he is. I believe that up until Meek Mill, up until the Meek Mill, the Meek incident.
Right.
Until I thought he was complete bitch. Like, he's soft. He's got nothing. He's just all words. But then seeing the intelligence of his attack, I was like, oh, hey, you got to respect a dude like that. But yeah, I'm all about the singles, man, where he's just rapping. I miss him and Wayne. Him and Wayne had great chemistry on a track together. That was really dope. It's weird because I'm not a fan of Wayne. I'm not a fan of Drake. But I'm a fan of Drain.
He's a fan of draining, and that's what that music does to me is drain.
I'm a fan of Drake
drains the shit out of him.
That's like their Brangelina.
Just like Rick Ross. I'm not a Rick Ross fan. I'm kind of a Jay-Z fan, but when Rick Ross and Jay-Z do a song together, that shit's dope as fuck.
Yep.
So that's my view on Drake, man. I'll probably never probably never give a full album a shot just because I did once, and 4 tracks in I was like, why do I feel like I want to cry right now? Why? That's your problem. Did my girl just leave me? Like, am I in divorce court?
But I feel you on that, man. Nothing be good collaboration, my dude. You know, nothing. Especially in hip hop, man.
And when the chemistry is there, and it's not just like, oh, I got a verse from the hottest dude that's out right now, type shit. But like, when the chemistry is there and they're feeding off each other, like, shit's dope, man. Shit is dope.
For sure. I got a quick collabo, and I'm going to be seeing a concert in May, and I got a couple albums coming out. And that's and we're going from Drake to A$AP Rock. And I ain't talking A$AP Rocky. I'm talking A$AP Rock, the former Def Jux MC. He's got the Impossible Kid coming out, and you can watch his cartoony, nerdy album preview episodes on Funny or Die, and they're pretty cool. Like talks to like a bear and shit. It's weird.
Paranoia boy, you're awake in a haunted crawl space. Hoodie up, gaunt face down, taut drawstrings. Scroll up in the cookie cutter, mud up all things. All mange, all dogs of war, evolve strange. Nose in a feed trough, curds in a scarf.
But yeah, he's got an album coming out. And Homeboy Sandman, another New York dope MC coming out, Kindness for Weakness in May. So they almost have like back-to-back albums, and they're doing a tour together. And I think their show was like $15. It's probably sold out now. I'm fool, but if you can get a ticket, it's in May. Holler at me, and we'll hit it up. But I'm going in May, and there's some MCs. But any parting shots before we go?
I was gonna say, rest in peace to Phife Dawg. My first show at 4th and B. Got to go to this great billing, and like I said, it was my birthday, so like I'd never been to a hip hop show in pretty much in California before. So I'm just gonna give you the billing of that particular show. It was Murs, A$AP Fables, Dead Prez, and Phife, and it's all on one show.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I just saw Murs too. Unbelievable. One of the best. He's clear as fuck. Like you can hear every word.
Yeah.
Like that's impossible at a rapper concert.
The first time I saw Murs was at a rock show. Like was at a fucking punk show. Like he was just like this random rapper on the bill, and I knew who he was. I was like, "What? Let's see him live for the first time."
Yeah,
and
well, I knew I knew Phife and Dead Prez. I didn't know the other cast, but like it was just a dope concert, a dope experience. And like I said, it was my birthday, dude. So I was high as shit, hollering at little females out there, man. And actually, one of my homeboys, Young Reef, was actually one of the young rappers on the set. So big shout out to Young Reef. But yeah, it was overall a dope experience.
You get to meet him, talk to him?
No, I didn't, man. By the time, actually, I kind of sort of did. We was in the back smoking, and they just kind of just all out there, just saying. I just to let them know, hey, I love your music, and I was saying, I love the set.
What's up.
So
that's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
But we're gonna let Esco finish with "Let Me Finish." Shout out to Guru, JD, Phife Dawg, rest in peace, motherfucker. We're gonna take it off. Esco, handle it.
So I've been sitting on this song for a minute. Maybe a year and a half. I had the pleasure of doing a song with Open Mike Eagle. It was great. I actually got a chance to not just do a song with him, via the interwebs like most things are done now, where you email the verse and whatnot, but I actually got to meet him, talk about the song. I got to talk to him and Zilla Rocca a few different times to get the concept out so that everybody was on board. And I think it worked out well, man. It's a cool, entertaining little ditty. It's not part of a project, not part of...
Really? It's just something you guys did?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice little ditty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it was actually my first California collab.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Cool, man. That's what's up.
Damn. Well, our listeners are in for a treat then. Like an exclusive from a highly rated album on Geek Swag Radio.
Yeah, that's what's up. Let's do it.
Here it is.
Settle down. We have the last 3 students for show and tell. Open Mike Eagle, Esco, Zilla Rocca. You must stay within your 16-bar time limit. You may not go over, or you will not be allowed to finish. We must make it to recess on time.
Yeah. First, I freed Zelda. I killed Ganondorf on sight once I figured out where he held her. I made a prop bet and won $100 off the Patriots on the day that they released Welker. I play way more poker than the rest of y'all, plus I exercise which lowers my cholesterol. I wish being dumb was illegal so I could call police and have an older guy arrest you all. I aced the classes, you're flunking hard. Your little arms look flaccid on the monkey bars. In driver's ed it said that I steer the best. I heard each and every tone on the hearing test. Stash growing little whiskers on the top. Wave kid so tight, put my picture on the box. Mathematics expeditions deep into concaves. I'm the LeBron James of the Bronze Age World History Club Trivia Enclave.
You have been warned, Mr. Eagle. I told you, you will not be allowed to finish if you go beyond your limits.
Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying to you. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying to you.
Try trusty and true. Eyes shut to the view, time touches the few. The wine jump with a new pair of hands. High five the new era. My grammar melts metal and sands of the hourglass turn to glass feathers. Last letters of the ancient text, read them in wheat. Me, eager to eat. I'm Steve Seagal with cleats and brass knuckles with some lion fangs strapped to his teeth. You ain't flesh of my flesh, your fresh meat is a feast. I bless people on beats. I mess with the best chick, that's Beauty and Beast. So just who do you think gon' bring the trouble to your table? Force you to go eat a fork full of defeat from dorks, nerds, and geeks. I rest names in peace when this layman speaks. The guys listen, I'm tripping, not slipping. Pimpin', pimpin', this the only option y'all getting. Get me.
Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying to you. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Back up in the
to you.
spot like I never left. I kid, I spit champagne problems. Y'all struggle to fizz. What it is, daddy? Party villains never shoveling shit. The dominatrix made me button my lip. I'm like, oh no, just be quick. Paperback secret. Throwing out your album like an 80s party leaflet. Between you and me and the apple tree, don't approach my cipher with a daiquiri. Wrecking crew, majesty, majestic, I blessed it. Put it on wax, how we press it. The shit is just destined. Watching stories with my mother, boxes of wine, young and restless, old and refined, but I'm shy and handsome. Fly like Ted Danson, they wanted me to rhyme, but we kept on dancing. No romance in the stone, cause I'm grown. This is how you look when your passion is closed.
Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying to you. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying to you.
Thoughts walking, often get lost in his head. Thoughts talking, often tossed out and unsaid. About as awkward as a fish that tried walking with legs. A moving picture, made for you to watch when he's dead. The sarcophagus red, here lies a king that tried to be a common pauper instead. Spoke a piece till the peep said, off with his head. Now he's deceased and we were asleep so we forgot what he said. Something about the savior of men.
Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying to you. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish. Let me finish what I'm saying to you.
Now bring it back to the rap shit, I'm dope. Let me finish, man. Let me finish. I wasn't finished, man. Fuck 16. I want 81 bars. Let me finish.